Hello and welcome to a new video. So this is going to be a bit of a different one. I am flying solo for this one, although Helena is here at the start.
I'm very sweaty. I've just recorded an on-demand Zumba class.
Yes, I'm actually heading up to the Lake District. So I put out a post on Instagram a few weeks ago saying that I'm going on a long road trip. I'll be by myself. So to break up the journey, like when I stop at services and stuff, I was going to do a bit of a Q&A. So as we travel up, as we get nearer to the Lake District, and then while we're at the Lake District, I'm there with my dad and my brother, celebrating my brother's birthday. It's like an early birthday present, but I'll probably just maybe do some montagey stuff of the Lake District.
That'd be nice, because I want to see, because I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, I'm going to miss you too.
I'm excited for you. I love the Lake District.
I've downloaded a load of podcasts, some new, some old, some I've already listened to, but yeah, it's got to get me through. I think it's 300 miles and around 5 hours 45 or something like that. So yeah, we better get going. So I'm at Warwick Services, so I've got another 4 hours to go. This has really reminded me, actually, we've definitely been to this services before, and it's reminded me of when we went to Stratford upon Avon, and we went at Christmas time. No, we didn't go at Christmas time, that's what I was trying to say. We went earlier in the year, 1 year, and then we said we were going to go back to stay over during the festive season because we thought that would be really beautiful, and we'd go and see something at the theatre, the Royal Shakespeare Company, and we never did it. So that's something that we definitely want to try and get done at some point. But I thought I would just answer a couple of the questions while I've stopped for a little bit of a rest. So will you guys be planning an Asia trip in the future to visit the Disney parks? We would absolutely love to do that. We've actually just started watching the Kershaw Adventures. They've just started their Asia trip series, and sort of trying to get some hints and tips from that. It just looks like it'll take a lot more planning and obviously money. So it is something that we'd love to do. If you've got any hints or tips and you've done it before, let us know in the comments. But yeah, it's on the agenda. It's definitely a dream of ours. Congrats on your new job. Thank you very much. Have you started yet? And if so, how is it going? If not, then are you excited? I am very excited. I'm very excited, but also I think this is just natural whenever you get a new job, and obviously it's going to be meeting new people. It's trying to integrate yourself into a team. It's involving clients again, so you know, front facing. It's very sort of like when I was cruise director. I've not been doing that for a long time. I've been sat behind a laptop. I worked for, I don't think I ever went into it, but I worked for a very large social media company where I acted as a moderator, and I had to make sure that nothing bad went on the platform. I'll leave it there. You might be able to guess which one it was. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm actually in the sort of crossover. So I get back from this trip on Thursday. I go into the office with my current job on Friday for my last shift, hand in my laptop and stuff that I've had while I've had this job, and then I start my new job on Monday. I hope that I can make a good impact for the company. Everyone I've spoken to so far within the company has been lovely, and it's all about they want to support me, and they're very excited. Like what's amazing is seeing their excitement over what they think I can bring. So yeah, I just hope I can I can deliver. Ooh, love this. Favorite part about YouTube is the question. That's really difficult. I love the fact that it's quite weird though, in a way, especially as we've been doing it for quite a few years now. I mean, it's like 2017, I think, is when we first uploaded videos. So like it's 27 then. And we've documented our lives from that point on. You know, we've been pretty consistent. And what's amazing is being able to go back and relive those days and really be able to remember everything that we've done. Sometimes your memory plays tricks on you and you don't remember things the way that they happened. And I think it's quite nice that you're able to, I think you do take in a lot more because you live it, and then I edit it, and then we'll go back and watch it. So I think a lot of it remains in our heads a bit more. Yeah, I just love that we can go back and visit those times. So that's one of the big things I love about it. I love the creativity. I love that we've been able to create not just, you know, our videos have jumped between different passions, and we've had, Helena's done singing videos. I've done videos about, you know, attractions that are a bit more presenting style. We've never just stuck to one thing. and we've never broken away from the channel to do the other things. I like that it is just our realm to do what we want and to create what we want. And then the big thing, I think the biggest thing is probably the community. We've created such a lovely community, and we've been very fortunate in that we've been able to actually meet a lot of you, whether it's in the Disney parks or whether it's elsewhere, and we just can't emphasize enough how much we truly value you watching the vlogs. It really means a lot to us. So I've answered a couple there, but I better get back on the road. So next up, we're at Sandbach Services. Sorry about the angle. I can't get you steady on the dashboard. There's not enough room. I needed to bring the gorilla pod. I quickly nipped in. I did need something to eat. And the thing with services though is that like, they're so expensive, aren't they, just for a sandwich? So I ended up going for a $1.99 wrap. I avoided the fries. Instead I went for apple slices and grapes. So the next question we've got is, where do you see yourself and Helena when you're old and grey together? I'm going to take this as like location. It also freaks me out a bit thinking this far ahead. I like to try and think about the moment and where we are. In terms of place, the thing that gets mentioned a lot is the sea. And being by the sea and being by a beach. So maybe just somewhere that involves being close to or able to travel to the beach. I think that's where we'll end up. I don't know where. We have a hard enough time figuring out where we want to be right now in terms of where we want to live. Highlight of 2024 so far? That's a tricky one because we've been very fortunate, very lucky. We've done quite a lot this year already. There's a couple. I mean, Helena starting her dance fitness is one. Me being able to get another job, I was looking for so long. I must have been applying for jobs for like a year and a half or something like that. It's been a long time. I've wanted to try and switch. But I think I'd probably go with, even though I got ill at the end, the Azura cruise that we did, the big highlight from that, I would say, and a place that I'd love to go back to, was the time we spent in Madeira, where we went to, I can't remember what it was called now. Was it the Tropical Gardens? It was gardens anyway we went to, and then we got the toboggan down. We just had a really good day exploring, and those are some of my favourite days, when we just go out and take a look at what's around. And then this last one, just for this portion, what's the best advice you can give for a long drive? Stop. Make sure you stop. Don't think that you can power through all the way. I think it's always better to stop, because like, it sounds a bit boring, but you've got a duty of care to the people that are in your car with you. I know I don't have anybody with me now, but then also yourself. You want to look after yourself. So I would say stop. I tend to try and plan when I'm going to stop, but if I need to stop earlier, then I will do. Podcasts is a big one. So like, I've downloaded quite a few. Some of the ones, it's always a bit of a risk though, because if you get one that you don't enjoy, you're kind of stuck with it, because I try not to fiddle around with anything. Like, I don't want to touch my phone, I don't want to touch the radio or anything, so just got to sort of put up with it if I'm not feeling it. But yeah, podcasts, music, I always like upbeat music for a long drive. I don't like things that are a bit slower in tempo, because I mean, that could just make you tired and stuff like that. The only other thing I think of is have a coffee. So this might possibly be the prettiest services I've been to. It's very old school looking. I love it. Sort of, well, it's a farm shop and kitchen. So that would sort of indicate what sort of style it's in. I'll show you in a second. But then there is just a staggering view. So there's some picnic tables, and then you just can look out and you just see the rolling hills. Oh, I love the Lake District so much. I'm very excited to finally get to the lodge. I am 50 minutes away. So I think I've made pretty good time. We're staying at a Ho Seasons lodge, so it's Keswick Reach Lodge Retreat. So if you've ever been there, let me know. It looks lovely from the photos, and then myself and Helena have stayed in a few Ho Seasons lodges before, so I'm very excited. But yeah, let me show you the services and then also the view, and I'll answer just a couple more questions. So here we got the picnic tables, and then there is the view. And then it was so cool, there was a train just went past as well. Oh, if Helena was here, she'd be saying, breathe it in. She always talks about how the air's just different. Before you and to your left lie the Westmoreland Dales, a tranquil and lesser known part of the Yorkshire Dales National Park with expanses of high limestone pavement, dramatic valleys, nature reserves, as well as picturesque historic villages. Bit of Martyn reads there for you. It's got a duck pond! And then there's the actual services building. See what I mean about it being one of the prettiest services? It was very nice in there. I'm just going to do one question now, and then I'm going to finish off the journey, and then I'll answer the rest of the questions like either during my stay or as I drive back from the Lake District. So yeah, the next question I had is, what am I reading right now? I've been trying to get back into my reading. I started off the year strong and then sort of fell off the wagon a little bit, and then got back into reading when we went on our trip to Tacoma, when I read the Anthony Daniels IMC 3PO book. And I'm just loading up here. So I actually have an app to keep track. It's not Goodreads, I think that's what most people use. It's just called Reading List. And it's just where I can list all the books that I've read. It's actually got all the ones I read from last year and this year. And then I can also write notes on it. So I'm reading a fiction book at the moment, and sometimes I can forget what's happened and I lose track. So what really helps me is I read a chapter and then I write a little note, 2 to 3 sentences on what happened in that chapter, and that just really helps cement it in my brain. And I am currently reading, it is a James Bond novel, but it's a novel that's not written by Ian Fleming. It's actually written by, I think it's Anthony Horowitz. I think he wrote 3 Bond books, and this one is called, this is the first of his, and it's called Trigger Mortis, and I think it uses a bit of Ian Fleming. I don't know the actual background. I don't know whether he started writing it and then didn't finish it, so I need to look into that. But yeah, I've really been enjoying it, and in my head I was wondering who was gonna stick out as Bond for me as I read, like whose voice was going to come to the forefront. And as I was reading and it got to Bond's lines, I can't do an impression now, but in my head, it's weird, like you can do the voice. In my head, it's Sean Connery. That's the first person that came to mind. I think as well because I read the back of the book, or I read a synopsis where it said that this book takes place just after Goldfinger. So in my head, I'm like, oh, it's in that era. So that's why it must be Connery that's come to the forefront. But I'm really enjoying it. I am hoping to read a little bit on this trip. And yeah, I should finish it soon, I think. And then yeah, I think he's got 2 more. So there's been quite a few authors who've written Bond books. I'm really interested in reading the ones by Charlie Higson, who used to be in the Fast Show and has since done other things. But I think he did the young Bond books, and then I think he's done some as like adult Bond, but I'll have to look into it. Right, let's finish this drive and get to the lodge. So I've arrived, but I've made a bit of a boo-boo. I've left my wallet in the car, so I need to wander back. So there's only 1 car parking space, and my dad's got a car, so he's in that one. We asked to see if people next door, if there was anybody in, but like can't guarantee someone might not turn up, so I don't mind just parking in the car park at the reception. Get my steps in. Been in the car for ages. Right, got my wallet, so I'm going to head back now to the lodge. So I'm not going to film all the time that I'm here. I'll just film some bits and bobs. But yeah, it looks very nice. The lodge looked nice as well, from the little I saw before I galloped out again. No hot tub though. You know I love the ones with the hot tubs. So we're actually lodge 1, 2, 3. Right, I'll catch up with you in a bit. morning! So it's been a little while since I chatted with the vlog. What I've done is I have filmed some clips, but actually I filmed more than I thought. So what I thought I would do first is just tell you a little bit about what we did. So I am back in the car. There is the reception area for the Keswick retreat, the lodges that we stayed in, and the lodge was lovely. I've got some I think I showed already some clips of what the lodge actually looked like, and then we went into the reception area. We got takeaway pizzas one night, and then we also played the quiz. We don't know where we came, but we scored 54 and the winning score was 65, so I mean, I think that's pretty good going. So I'm going to insert some footage now from the first day that the whole day that we had, so the day after that I arrived. We went into Keswick, we went to the Pencil Museum, which is quite an obscure museum, but I think it's well known if you're coming to Keswick. It's just a small little museum, but actually I found it really interesting, and what was great was they gave out a quiz. So you had on both sides of an A4 sheet of paper, you had questions, and you had to go around and then find the answers from the plaques and things that were dotted about. So it was a really good way for you to engage in the museum, and I loved it because everyone that was taking part, it was all adults that were taking part. It wasn't like kids quiz, it was all adults were taking part. I loved it. So we did that, and then we went on a epic walk around Derwent Water, the whole of it. It was long, it was very rainy. We weren't expecting the amount of rain that happened while we were going around the lake. We actually thought from the weather forecast it was going to be light drizzle, but sometimes it was just torrential, but it really added to the experience. We stopped off at a few places. Lingholm we stopped off at, which was visited by Beatrix Potter quite a lot over a 20-year period, I think. There's even a photo inside the cafe we went to of her sitting outside. Yeah, we went there and then we came back to the lodge. So yeah, I will insert the footage from that day now. So that's the night that we did the quiz, and then the next day we did a few different things. So we went off to the Lake District Wildlife Park, I think it's called, and that was really good. That was huge. I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it was. We listened to a few talks. Everyone was very friendly. There were lots of school groups learning about nature and conservation, which was fantastic to see. And then from there, we sort of retraced our steps, but we drove this time. We retraced our steps. We went to the Marymount Hotel, which is where we'd stopped while we were doing the big walk around Derwent Water the previous day. And my brother Mark had told me that there was a waterfall nearby, but we just couldn't do it that day because it was so rainy and wet. It was already a bit treacherous underfoot. So we decided that we'd go back after we'd been to the wildlife park, and so we parked in the pub. We had a walk up to the waterfall, and I think it was called L'Odore Waterfall, and it was just brilliant. I loved that, and I've really loved the adventure of climbing over the rocks and stuff to get to these different things and different places. I feel like a sense of achievement in reaching some of these places, and when we did the walk around Derwent Water, a sense of achievement in completing it as well. Starting in Keswick, walking all the way around it, and then getting back to Keswick. And then after that, we because we'd used the car park, we went in, we had a drink in the pub, and then we came back. That's when we had the pizzas last night, and then just stayed in the lodge watching TV. But I am now I'll put that footage in, and then I'm going to start the drive back, and on the the drive back, I'll be stopping at the services again, and I'll answer more of your questions. So I'm back at Sandback Services, which is the one that I called in on the way down. And just looking back at the questions. So the next question is Disney goals. I guess, you know, overall is to go to all of the theme parks around the world. But I think like one of the big goals is to do California. We keep going on about how we want to try and go to the original. So yeah, going to California is a Disney goal. Whether it'll be the next one, I don't know. I think we've just got this longing for maybe Orlando first, mainly because we know it so well. So yeah, we are planning the California. Any tips, as usual, greatly appreciated on how to make California happen in the comments. What's it like living far away from family? Yeah, it can be very difficult. It's a long drive. I do try and do it. I haven't done it as much this year so far, but I've seen my family now, and then also I'm coming back up in a few weeks' time to Newcastle, which will be nice. And then yeah, it's just about trying to, especially with my new job, sort of trying to find time where I can schedule out some days to pop up. So hopefully I'll be able to do that a bit more. But I am lucky that in today's day and age we do have video chat, so you know it's pretty much every week that I see them, you know, face to face over the video chat, so that is a great help. By the way, I'm sweating. It is really hot and humid. Have you struggled with your fitness journey, or do you stick to things easily? I have been on a bit of a fitness journey, and I mean, I've had the intent to be on a fitness journey for quite some time, so yes, I did struggle getting into it, but I found that the biggest thing for me was making it part of my routine. So I had to make sure, so I've been trying, although it hasn't been like this for the last couple of weeks just because we've been away and stuff, but I was trying to plan in every other day, something like go to the gym or do Helena's dance fitness every other day, getting in the habit. And then after a while, I can't remember what it is. What is it that if you do it for like 28 days or 30 days in a row or something, it then becomes part of your routine. So it was about getting to that stage. And things that helped me with that, I had a calendar on the wall, I still do, where I color code it. And things like that really helped me. So color coding it green when I've gone to the gym, and then at the end of the month I can look at that calendar and see, oh yeah, look at that. And that motivates me to keep it up. But it's got the point where now if I can't go or don't do it, I miss it. So I think it's about getting to the stage, for me anyway, personally, getting to the stage of, yeah, making it part of my routine. I like how doing the exercise makes me feel. It's really good for my mental health. And it's just about, I had to change my approach. But I started off with, I think the first thing I started off with, I won't go too much into it, but the thing I started off with was Couch 5K. Because then I did a 5K run. And then after that, it was actually Helena who helped me, because I was just doing treadmill stuff, and then Helena doing her exercise to music course told me that you need to do it more. You need to do like some weight training in there as well, some resistance training, and doing the cardio, and then that is when I started to notice changes happening. I'll answer one more, then I'll have to get on the move. Thoughts on the new Doctor Who series? I've been loving it. You know, as with every series of Doctor Who, there are episodes that I like more than others. I can't say, there's going to be no spoilers, and as I record this, we are halfway through the season, so we've just had Dot and Bobble. So I think when this goes out, the series will have finished, so like all the surprises and things will be revealed. But I've loved it being back. It's been fun. Every episode's been different. That's what I love about the series, is that the themes, the dynamics, everything can change. Wasn't too keen on Space Babies. I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure how this looks tech-wise. But my favourite episode so far has been Boom, Stephen Moffat's episode. But I like that every episode's been different. And I think that in Ncuti Gatwa has been phenomenal from the get-go. I think he's a great addition to the lineage of Doctor Who, and yeah, I'm excited for what comes next. I really do wonder how long he's going to stay for, because they've already finished wrapping season 2, so most Doctors only stay on for 3 and then go, so we'll find out what happens there. I'm almost there. I am about an hour away, so I'm just going to quickly rapid fire go through some of these questions, otherwise I'm not going to get through them all. I don't know if I will get through them all, so apologies if I've missed out your question. Next I will go to place, destination most want to visit for the first time. This was quite a common one. I've sort of grouped it, sort of similar questions in with this one. Place most want to visit for the first time, so yeah, Disney California, there's a few. Japan, I think, is on the list. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. That's somewhere that's, and I mean, even Disney've got a place in Hawaii as well. So that's definitely somewhere on my list. Hi, Martyn, what is your favourite Star Wars character? That's a tough one, and that's something that probably changes quite a lot. I mean, I love them all. I could reel off all the main ones. I will go with, I think, the one that comes to the forefront all the time is Obi-Wan. I love what Alec Guinness did with the character, and then I just love what Ewan McGregor did as well, and I'm always saying hello there. Favourite ride in Disneyland Paris? Again, that's a tough. Every time there's like a favourite question, it's something that could change depending on your mood. I'll go with Hyperspace Mountain, because I absolutely love that bit where you're held and then you shut off and you can look out to the park. And then it's got the loops and everything. I mean, currently it's Star Wars themed, but there's rumours, isn't there, that they're going to be changing it back to the original Space Mountain for Disneyland Paris. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was closed when we were last there, so we didn't have it in the vlogs. But I think it should be back open when we next go in July, so I'm excited for that. What is your favourite meal, 1 to cook and 2 to have out? Hoo-hoo! I mean, a lot of the stuff we make is from Gusto. I will go with, my favourite thing to make, I think, is fajitas. The chicken fajitas that we have, where I just make the different bowls up and then you just help yourself. So you've got like the onion, the peppers, the paprika, all that sort of stuff in one bowl. Then you have like lettuce in another, and then you have the fajitas, you have maybe yogurt or sour cream, you've got the salsa, and then you just help yourself and create your own fajita. So I think that's probably my favourite one to make. I mean, there was a point where we were eating it every week because of Strictly Come Dancing. Every Saturday we'd have a fajita night, Strictly Fajita night. Just thought I'd put the camera down. It's funny, you know, every time I've parked at services, I've tried to go like the furthest out the way, and then every time I've started filming, the person like comes to the car that's next to me or parks in the space that's next to me. So in terms of food, favourite food to have out? I'm trying to think. When I was younger, and my dad and brother would tell you this, I ordered scampi like every time we went out. But I don't know. I think probably the most common thing that I have is a burger. Because it's not necessarily something that we have at home a lot. Mainly because I'm useless at making them. And it's also like a treat having it out. So yeah, maybe a burger. Oh, and then the question here, where would you recommend for Disney Marvel menswear? Oh, I have a problem with this. Every time I want to get some new t-shirts, Primark, I've always got a bone to pick with Primark because they've got a huge selection for women of Disney and stuff, but like for men, you go upstairs, or typically the ones I go to, you go upstairs and, you know, there's a couple of Marvel t-shirts, maybe the odd Star Wars one, but there's never any Disney. So I always have to try and find them from somewhere. I mean, I've bought some before from Boohoo. I've bought some before from Absolute Cult, which were, I think they were from Amazon. They're all quite pricey though. I would recommend checking out Vinted. I think there's some good ones on there, but I haven't bought any yet. But yeah, it's always tough. If anybody else has any ideas on where to buy good men's Disney or Marvel t-shirts, let us know in the comments. Truffle Shuffle sometimes. There's another one as well, but I'm forgetting what it's called. It's been that long since I looked. But there's like a one that's like a steampunk website. But again, they're quite pricey, and I think they mainly did Star Wars. And I'm home!
With me!
You made an appearance.
I'm happy you're home.
Made an appearance at the beginning of the vlog and at the end of the vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. Have I mentioned before that I love this sofa?
This is a good buy.
It's one of my best purchases, this. I love it, so comfy. But I had a fantastic couple of days in the Lake District, and it's somewhere you'd like to go back to, isn't it?
I would like to go back, yeah. Especially that cute little wildlife.
Yeah, the wildlife park was really good. Being able to feed the animals, fed the alpacas, the goats, the sheep.
I just love the Lake District as well. The few times we have been there, it's just a stunning part of the country.
Yeah, very nice. Even when it was chucking it down with rain, still had a smile on my face, and you could still see the beauty in the surroundings. It was brilliant. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me for a different kind of video. We will see you next time. If you've liked this one, hit the like button and also subscribe.
Bye! See you soon.
Toodle Pipski!